Hi everyone, welcome back to the Tea on College. We'll be discussing the good, the bad, and everything in between on your college experience. Today, we'll be discussing commuting to college. I fly, she drives, 2 different states, and we'll also be discussing lonely versus alone. So, like some really, really fun topics.
It is fun, I promise you. If
We'll
you
have
don't
fun
relate,
with it.
yeah. I mean, it's just, I think it's everything that everyone, experiences. I mean, both for
Yeah.
both of them,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So yeah.
anyway.
Do you want to start? So Sierra drives. How's the
Yes,
drive?
so, okay, let's do a little bit of background. So me and Brooke are both from Orange County, California. She goes to school in Spokane, Washington, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Spokane, Washington, and I go to school in Los Angeles, California. So for me, from the Orange County to Los Angeles, the drive is about an hour commute with no traffic. It is also LA traffic, so traffic's different from everywhere else. And obviously Brooke can't drive all the way up to Washington every single time, so she
It's a
flies.
21-hour drive, so I'm not about to do that. And I can't drive in the snow. I've never done it before, so
Yeah, that's another thing. It's another thing we can talk about
yeah,
later, the
we'll push
snow.
that towards the end. We'll push that towards the end.
Yeah.
So what do you do on your drives? Do you like listen to music, podcast, our podcast?
You know, I was a really big podcast fiend back in my day. Dave Ramsey show, I kind of got on him and I was just listening to him. Like his episodes are usually 3 hours long, and if I leave during rush hour traffic, which is pretty much all the time, except for the late hours and the mid-afternoon mornings, um, yeah, I would listen to his 3 hour episodes. It's quite interesting. Money advice, so I would highly listen to him. I also listen to, oh God, what is it? It's like The Mentor. It's something about mentoring with a guy named Rob. And so I also listen to him. He's really good too. He's for like personal development and stuff. But more recently, I've been getting into like music. So I listen to The
What kind of
Weeknd's.
music? Oh, go on.
Oh no, it's okay. But The Weeknd, like his album, his which one was it? Not The Blinding Light. I think both The Blinding Lights, but the new album that just came out, or
You
like
played one
about
of
a
his
year ago.
albums in the car when
I
I drove, and it was good. I liked
think
it.
so. Yeah, so I listened to that in full, but now I just kind of just listen to my like songs because it's curated for me and only me, and so I just listen to that,
I love that.
and I keep watching it. LA traffic, it never fails. There is at least one dodo bird on the freeway who's gonna kill everyone, but you just gotta look out for them. And just do your thing. And I've also learned to be very, very aggressive on the freeway. Like, just like
Damn.
aggressive. I was talking about this to my friend the other day, and we have to be assertive, you know? Like, you could be
Well,
driving, but you
yeah.
also have,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So you have to make yourself known because some people just don't let you in, and you need to get in order to get to the next freeway exit. So I've
Yeah.
learned when I need to go, I need to go. So, which is probably bad, but oh
No, but
well.
that's like good life advice. Like, take care of yourself first, and then, you know,
Assertive.
be assertive in your need. Oh, shoot, that's a good one. Be assertive in your needs. That's what we learned from driving with Sierra.
Brooke Bowen, everybody. That's her quote right there.
We're not doing an
So,
ending quote. That's your quote of the day.
no, I don't want
No, we still have an ending quote. It's a good one.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's good. Good. But anyway, so what is it like having? Sorry, this is gonna sound so negative. I'm so sorry. No, but like, what's it like flying every single time? Because I mean, some people love the airport, some people don't. Like, what's your experience of that?
So I actually have a lot of like small experiences. So like I love airports. I love airports. I love people watching and like
Ooh.
you do. It's just so fun because I'm like
Yes.
one, it means like you're going somewhere new or like somewhere you've like,
Hmm.
you know, for me it's like somewhere I've been before. I've been to my home before. But I love airports. It's really fun. The Spokane airport is like really small, so I'm never like worried about getting through or not. But I always
Hmm.
leave earlier than I should. But where's it going with this? Oh yeah, airplanes freak me out though. Like
Oh.
like because there was this one flight where I was by myself, first time flying by myself, it takes off, like it goes like it's on like so this is like the I don't know what it's called, like the
Runway.
landing strip, the takeoff part.
Runway? I think it's runway.
Runway. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So the plane is here, and this is the end, like not the end, but like the end of the
We're
plane
supposed to
takeoff.
take off.
So it goes up in the air and then it comes back down. And I was in the plane for like an hour and a half. I was so scared. I was literally like, I'm gonna be, I think it was like Santa Barbara or some, not Santa Barbara, San Francisco. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be stuck in San Francisco. Like, I don't know what to do. What do I like? What do you do if you're stuck in an airport? Like, do you spend the night at the airport? And I was like freaking out. It did end
Mhm.
up taking off, and the guy I was getting a ride from, I didn't know him personally, and we set it up because like he lives in Spokane and he was offering to give rides. He's given rides before, and it's like a Gonzaga parents page. I was a freshman.
Mhm.
I didn't really know people with cars, so I was like, well, what if he doesn't like what happens if like it's too late type of thing, like what do I
Mhm.
do then?
Yeah.
And oh my God, I was so scared after that. But then I started getting over my fear of flying. But I love airports. It's weird like that. But like on a plane, I generally listen to music or I download a podcast. Like I downloaded the podcast Dropouts and like I'll like listen to certain episodes and I'll like fall asleep. I try to fall asleep, but like I don't know. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Um
So it's more like white noise than anything.
yeah, kind of cuz I'm just like I just want to get to my next destination cuz I don't like sitting down for too long. So like this is going to sound really negative, but like I love airports, but I don't like the flying part, if that makes
Mm.
sense.
Yes, yes. It's like the
Yeah.
idea of being at an airport and like you're going, yeah, like what you said, going somewhere. So whether it's on vacation or for work, you know.
Yeah. And I don't mind it. It's just every once in a while I'm like, oh my God, like what if it doesn't take off again? Like type thing. But like,
Yeah, that's crazy. Like I don't
so
think
that
I've
was
ever seen or heard or been on a plane where it went back down. So wait, after you went back down, did they like have to make another round or did you have to transfer to a different plane?
no, we stayed in the same plane and they didn't tell us what was wrong with it. So I was like,
Oh, so
oh
that's
my goodness,
pilot.
I'm going to like, you know. So yeah, but generally okay, what I started doing, this is like since freshman year. End of freshman year. So when Taylor Swift's Red album came out and she released the 10-minute version,
Hmm.
I put it on repeat, like literally like where you can listen to it over and over and again.
Hmm.
And I would do that for like an hour leg of the flight and it just made everything go by so fast. So I started doing that again this year and it's worked out really well because I'll just like fall asleep and it's like, oh, Taylor Swift. And then I wake up at the same part when she's like um where she's talking about but she's never good at punchlines but or she's never good at telling jokes but the punchline says and I'm like, oh my God, I love this part. But yeah, that's my take on flights. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's it like? Because for me, well, I guess it's different what your relationship to your family is. Like for
What?
me, hold on, let me get to it.
That sounds
I
really bad.
know,
I love
I
my
know.
parents. What?
No, I know. But I'm like for the viewers. Okay, okay. It's
Okay,
okay.
okay,
Let me
okay.
anyway. Okay. Some people, not you. I'm not, this isn't directed at you. Okay, okay.
Okay.
Some people don't necessarily have the best relationship with their family, but for me, I have a really good relationship. And like you have a good relationship with your parents. There we go.
I didn't know where this was going, and I was like,
You're like, Sierra, let's not say something that we're not supposed to be saying. Um, No, so for me, it was really important that I was close enough to my family that I could be able to get back to them, but also far enough that there's a little bit of room that I could try and find some independence. For you, it's not, you can't go back whenever you want like I can. So what was
yeah.
it like? What's it like, not being able to do that? And also, what made you make that decision of going that far? How has it affected you? Do you like it? Do you wish you were closer? All that shebang.
That's a really good like snaps to you. That's a really good question.
Thank you. I'm just curious. Like I'm
No,
actually
yeah.
curious because some people are close to their family, but they'll go across. the state, because they want to just try and find themselves. And some people are like, no, I want to be close, and they live at home.
Yeah, I definitely think, okay, so for me, I am very close to my parents, and how do I phrase this? Like, I knew that, oh yeah, if I knew that if I stayed in California, I would never leave.
Mhm.
And I want to have as many like life experiences as possible. Like I wanted to see snow. I wanted to live in snow. I wanted to like not in snow, but like live where it snows. I wanted to like experience all sorts of things. Like I want to experience as much as possible in life.
Mhm.
Because to go in like a really like go like another direction, we're only given one life. You might as well experience as much as you can.
Mhm.
And in college, because Gonzaga was similar price to California schools,
Mhm.
I was like, well, might as well do it type of
Mhm.
thing. And my parents were supportive of that. And then Gonzaga is a great economics program, great poli sci program. I was originally a double major in both, and then I dropped poli sci. And yeah, that's kind of why I chose that. But I will say it's been a great experience. I've loved being out of state. It's fun, but freshman year was really hard, the beginning
Mhm.
especially.
Mhm.
Um, Me and my first year roommate didn't have a great relationship.
Mhm.
To I'm not really gonna get into that, but me and my first year roommate, we didn't have a great relationship. So I was just like, I want to talk to my mom, but I was out of state and I didn't fly home until Christmas. So I was
Mhm.
like, oh wow, I wish my mom was here. I wish my dad was here. I wish it was my dog. I wish my sister was here. Like
Mhm.
that's where I was kind of like struggling. But then after first semester, you get used to it. And
Mhm.
it's more just like you make friends and they become like your family.
If you can hear me, I'm gonna stop you right there. You're just cut out.
Sorry, it cut out a little bit. What'd you say?
Oh no. Okay, it cut out for me too. Oh,
Oh,
that's my.
okay.
Well, and this is my fault. It just said my internet connection is unstable.
Oh,
Whoa.
whoopsie.
Um, go back to the part about it was like you wanted your family. I think that was the last point I had
Okay.
heard. Mhm.
So we'll do like that. And
Uh,
I wanted my family out here because I was like, wow, I'm really struggling. It's harder to make friends than I thought. It's harder to um it's school's a little bit harder. I've generally been pretty good at school, but like school's harder, it's more demanding. I
mhm.
want to be involved, but I'm not really as involved as I'd want to be. Um, Me and my roommate don't have a great relationship in the beginning, and there was just a lot of things going on. I was like, wow, I really wish my family was here and like I could talk to them about anything. But then after I kind of figured out that like relying on yourself and also like again, I'm not pushing religion on anyone, but believing in like some sort of like higher power, whatever it may be, did help me a little
Mhm.
bit because I was like, it just kind of put everything into place, you know?
Yeah.
That's where I went.
So rather than rely on your family and your parents, you relied on yourself.
Yeah.
And but like, how do
And
you
like
do that?
communities you build. Like
Okay,
you
okay.
have to like build your own little community. Like you build friendships. You find people you have like common interests with. You find I started going to church a lot in the
Mhm.
beginning and or towards the middle of freshman year. I was like, wow, or like middle end of the first semester. I didn't really go to church in the beginning, but then I was like, man, I really don't I'm really lost. I was really alone actually. Like to go into like our other topic, I was really like I was feeling really alone and lonely. Like I didn't really know what to do. And then I started going to church and then I just felt like a little bit better about everything. And
Mhm.
that's where I'm like, all right. Like I can make it on my own type of thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's if that makes sense. Like you just have to like find people that become like your family away from home, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Which I feel like it could be hard, but
No, yeah.
especially freshman year because you're trying to figure out who's your
Yeah.
actual friend and who's your family, but
because it's hard because everyone's trying to put on like their best foot forward, and not
Yeah.
everyone is that way. Not everyone is
Yeah.
a like. I hate to be the like not narcissist. I hate to be the pessimist, but not everyone's a good person.
Hmm.
And everyone's trying to put on a face of they're a good person, they're kind, they're whatever, and that's not always true.
Hmm.
So it's hard to like, oh, are they gonna like be my friend, or are they gonna use information against me? Like it just depends. Like,
Hmm. And trying, I feel like the first year of freshman year really teaches you how to read people early on.
mm-hmm.
Because you can be like, oh, like there's a couple people who I met early on who seemed like the nicest people, but then once I got to know them, you're able to see the signs. So then when you go and you meet another person who's kind of their similar personality, you can also see the signs again of, oh, they're going to turn out to be this person.
Yeah.
So I think that's interesting though. But
Yeah. Going on that topic, we're gonna be discussing what lonely versus being alone looks like, because that is something I dealt with my freshman year. I don't know if she did, but I know I did. So I think you did. We talked about it, probably.
I feel like a lot of people do. I mean, just kind of again going back to you not having or trying to rebuild a support system when you're away from home. This is the reason that's the reason why you build it. It's because you're either feeling lonely or alone. But there is a difference. Um, do you
Yeah.
want to talk about it first?
Sure, yeah. So like I was saying a little bit ago, I found that like being lonely is like the state of mind. And like it's like
Mm,
okay, I was starting to watch like a lot of self-love podcasts towards the end of my freshman year, like end of second semester type of thing.
mm-hmm,
And there's like a definite like it's a mindset. Like it's okay to be by yourself. It's okay to be alone and like, oh, I'm gonna take myself for coffee. Like take yourself on dates type of thing is what someone
mm-hmm,
was saying. Like, okay, when you're dating someone, you go out on dates. Like you go out to meet them, you get to talk to them type of thing. Do you do that
mm-hmm.
with yourself? Most of the time, no. So I was like,
Oh
man, I'm gonna
yeah.
take myself out. I'm gonna take myself to Dutch Bros. Like Dutch Bros used to sponsor us. Low key though.
Please.
Yes, we'd love that. I love Dutch. Can I have Dutch next time? Yeah, next time sponsor us. Anyways, um, yeah. So I would take myself to Dutch Bros, and it was like a 15-minute walk either way, like that there and back. So like you really spent a lot of time with yourself. And then I was studying a lot more towards because like finals
Yeah.
and spending a lot of time with my macroeconomics class. And I was just like, I kind of didn't feel alone anymore. I just felt like by myself is okay. And like I'd start because I'd study really late, I'd start like eating by myself. And like I didn't find that to be a problem. Like in the beginning, I was like, wow, people are gonna think I'm so weird for eating by myself. No one cares. Like
Mm-mm.
it's just like, best time for me to eat type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's a state of mind to be lonely. Alone is just like you're by yourself, you're chilling. You can be hilarious. I laugh at my own jokes in my head. Like I'll tell myself jokes and start laughing. People think I'm crazy, but
This is true. This is true.
I have done that a few times, and because I'll be like, wow, that's really like this is a really bad example. Like, oh, that's a funny looking tree. Or, and I'll make a joke out of it and I start laughing and then people like around me are like, wow, she's crazy. And then I'm like, no, I'm just like I'm enjoying myself. I'm like talking to myself, having a good time. I'm getting to know
Mhm.
myself a little bit better. And everyone should do that.
I like what you said about taking yourself on dates, not necessarily
Right.
about doing it, but like the mentality behind it
Mm-hmm.
of getting to know yourself better. I feel like a lot of people when they're trying to get to know themselves, they don't necessarily think of themselves in the third person, but more of like I don't know. Or they when they if they do think of themselves in the third person, it's more of like a older like child relationship of like why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this? Like,
It's very much like critical of yourself.
yes, yes.
And I'm very critical of myself. I know like what I want to achieve and what I shouldn't like what I could be capable of doing. And then
Mhm.
but there's a difference between what you're capable of doing and loving yourself in spite of not accomplishing that.
Mm. Which I feel that's like the hardest part
Mm-hmm.
because it's like people say, "Oh, it's easier to do that for other people," like if they don't make it. It's just like, oh, well, it's okay, like you'll get them next time. But I feel like there's also an aspect of it of, well, you're not that person. Like this is also you that you're talking about. So you kind of care about yourself a little bit more than that other person.
Yeah.
Not to say that you don't care about them, but it's like you don't care about their goals as much as your goals.
Yeah.
Because where their success isn't gonna affect you at all, really. And you're not gonna be,
Yeah.
it's not the work that you're putting in. So of course you're gonna care more about that goal that you have.
But yeah, that's exactly. So what is your take on lonely versus being alone?
Um, I want to say the same as you. I just didn't realize it. I just kind of felt the same way. But yeah, I feel like alone is being, being able to be like, being secure in yourself and knowing that you're gonna be able to be okay and that it's okay to be alone. I was talking to my mom last night. Had a rough week, let's just go with that. And
Second week
she
is hard.
yeah,
Because
I
then
don't
you're like,
know.
no, because your classes start to pick up and you're like, oh my God, what did I get myself into?
Yeah, basically. But um yeah, so I was just talking to her and she told me, she goes, look, she goes, all your days aren't gonna be great. She goes, you're gonna have really, really bad days. She goes, you're gonna have off weeks. She goes, and probably your days aren't gonna be that exciting. Like I know social media one, like all the influencers, they say, oh, it's gonna be a like great day and stuff, blah 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 blah. And
Like the
then
day
there's
of
like,
my life type of thing. Like, come with me on the day of my life type of.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love him and I hate him.
Well, I mean, okay, I'll be honest. I did one the other day for
No, I like
accounting
them. They're
society.
fun to watch. Like,
Hmm.
hang on. They're fun to watch, but like, I
Yeah.
feel like sometimes it's not realistic.
Oh, definitely not. I just did it. Yeah, I did the day in the life and I like was playing ping pong for an hour with someone just because it was like a slow day for me.
Yeah.
And like I went to work and then I think I worked out and then I played ping pong. Like I did no homework that day. It was really bad. And but it's like that wouldn't have like yesterday I literally just went to class and then I did homework and that's it. And so that's what she told me. She goes, you're probably gonna have more just average days like that where it's just you go to work and then you do homework and stuff than not. Like than good like really good days. Like where you're just playing ping pong with someone or you're doing this and something else. And so I think that comes along with the territory of lonely versus alone. Because if you're
Yeah.
alone, you would be okay with having all of those okay days. Where lonely, you have to feel like you have to have a bunch of great days in order to feel some sort of satisfaction with yourself.
Yeah, that's actually a really good way of putting it. I don't know if you, this is kind of similar to what you were saying, but have you seen like the TikTok channel where it's like romanticize your life?
Yeah, I vaguely,
Vaguely?
I
Okay,
think
so it's
looked
like
at it.
this
Yeah.
idea that like your life may be boring. It may like look like you're just doing homework all the time. Like me yesterday, I did Calc 2 for or calculus homework for
Mhm.
an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I didn't get it all done. Like it's
Mhm.
not due till the 30th, so I'm chilling. But like
Mhm.
I was struggling and I was like, wow, like this is my life now. And I just kind of was like, I looked out the window and I was like, this is my life now. Like, wow.
Mhm.
And I was like, wait a minute, like I just had to like reset and I was like, this is really fun. I do like what I'm doing. It's just hard.
Mhm.
And then I was like, I don't know. I started making my notes looking like a little bit more aesthetic. And it was like, again, it doesn't really take that much longer. It took me like 5 extra minutes to change the color of my notes
Mhm.
and like change headings and stuff like that. But like it made me feel better. And I was like, wow, this just makes me feel a little bit better. And I don't feel like as much like this isn't really lonely versus alone, but it's more just like how you treat yourself in the parts where you're alone type of thing. Like
Mhm.
treating yourself like you are your own priority. That is your
Mm.
goal.
Mm.
I actually
Yeah.
really like that.
No, I like that too, because I don't think like a lot of people do that these days. Or like they're so focused on like I know I'm so guilty of it. Like they're so focused on trying to impress someone else or
Mm-hmm.
like whether it's for work or it's, romantic interest or even just friends and, trying to impress your peers and stuff. I literally talked about this with my mom last night. She was like, you don't need to
We
impress
love your
everyone.
mom,
We
Miss
love my
Curran. We
mom.
love her.
She's just so wise. But yeah, she was like, you don't need to feel the need to impress everybody and like have this persona and stuff. And I'm like, I know, but it's so hard. I don't know. It's a
Oh yeah.
process to get from lonely to alone.
Yeah. Yeah. I reversed it in my head. I was like, wait, what? But yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's not like an overnight switch. It's first like the overnight switch is you realizing it, and then you have to work to keep that switch on, type of thing. Does that make
Hmm.
sense? Like,
Yeah, and then it's like a constant trying to keep the switch on because it comes off all the time.
and it
It turns off
sucks
all the time.
because you're
Yeah.
like, wow, my life kind of isn't where I want it to be. This isn't what I
Hmm.
wanted. This isn't what I wanted for myself.
Hmm.
And then you're like, wait a minute. Listen to
Yeah.
some good music. Treat yourself like you are your own priority. Like treat yourself like that. And then when you do, you'll come to realize who you are. So when I was alone last time, last time my roommate left, um, we love her, but she left for a week early for Thanksgiving break, and I decided to cut my bangs. And they're not there anymore. They grew out, thank God. But
Thank God.
I was
Yeah.
like, I went on like a this is going off on like a little tangent, so like my bad. But I cut my bangs and I was like, I'm really happy with that because like again, I wasn't like feeling alone. Or not I wasn't feeling lonely. I was just alone and I was like, I want to try it. Like it sounds fun. So you never know what you'll do when you're alone. So make sure
Just be safe, whatever you're doing.
don't cut yourself bangs. Maybe think that one through a little bit more because they didn't look that great, but
Yeah, I
whatever.
did that. Cut my sister's bangs one time. It was not a good idea. Let's just go with that. There's
Were they
pictures.
thick or were they like fringy? Because I think the fringy ones are
Oh,
cute.
I tried doing it fringe, but I got like a wad of her hair, and her hair is thick too.
I know.
And I didn't do it right. You're supposed to like make sure you're not pulling on it. It's very light and stuff. Nope, pulled on
Oh,
it. Only twisted it once, and yeah,
it's okay. We live and we learn. We're not gonna cut bangs when we're alone. We're gonna talk to ourselves, take ourselves on dates, go get coffee with ourselves,
that is the
listen to music.
self-love of being alone
Self-love.
that we enjoy. Which
Yeah,
takes us to our quote of the day. Brooke, you want to take it away?
of course. Don't fall back to old habits because they are familiar. Treat
So
yourself
true.
the way you want to be treated. Love yourself. I'm Brooke, and this has been Sierra, and we're the two.
Anyway, make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.